Are you ready to take the Nclex exam or you are still struggling? This video is for you. My name is Makoma Enerico. I'm a nurse from Africa and I took my Nclex exam from Sandton City in South Africa in 2022. So today I'd like to look at Nclex preparation. I'd like to give you 10 tips of preparing for the Nclex exams. How I prepared and how I think you can also prepare for this exam. We all know that the number of international nurses taking the Nclex exam is growing every day. According to statistics from Nclex-Rn, 35,074 nurses took the Nclex exam in 2022, compared to 8,495 nurses that took the same exam in the year 2021. This is from Nclex-Rn. So this means the number is 4 times between the year 2021 and 2022. But what happens when these nurses go and write the Nclex exam? So still, if you go further in the statistics, it shows that US educated nurses have a higher pass rate on the Nclex-Rn than the international counterpart. In the year 2021, for example, the pass rate for US graduates was 85.2%, while for international nurses it was 65.7%. The difference is very big. And why are international nurses failing this exam? And how best can we improve? That's the reason as to why I've decided to make this video. So I have the tips here, 10 of them, and we shall go over them one by one. We know that passing the Nclex exam is a crucial step for one to become a registered nurse in the US. And here are the tips. 1. Start early to prepare for this exam. So give yourself plenty of time, study and prepare for this exam. Cramming at the last hour is not necessary and it doesn't help you to prepare effectively and increase your chances of success. What you cram at the last minute actually may not even come in the exam, and even when it comes, you may not have enough information to pass these questions, because questions are tricky, they are not straightforward. So you need to have to start preparing on time so that you have enough data which you can integrate during the exam or in the examination room. So early preparation is a key to success. We should also acknowledge that for one to become a US nurse, we have 2 steps. We have the step of preparing for the exam, and then we have the other step of running accounts from CGFNS, the Board of Nursing. You have to do the criminal background check using fingerprints, and then you have to go through the booking to get the ATT, which is the authorization to test code, and then scheduling for the exam. So you have that part, getting the visa and all that. Then I have a video that I made concerning that journey. But we have this part of reading and actually getting ready to writing and passing the exam. So early preparation is very important. The moment you open your CGFNS account like this, start reading. Our second step is understanding the format of the exam. Familiarize yourself with the format of the exam, including the type of questions you expect to find on that day, such as multiple choice questions. We have select all that apply. The question can come, for example, is this, then select all that apply, A, B, C, D. So you have to familiarize yourself with this format, so that you know when I select a wrong answer and select all that apply, what's the penalty? Am I penalized for putting a wrong answer or not? Should I go for what is right, or I just close my eyes and then say dun 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 and then pick the answer or the answers? So you must familiarize yourself with the standard of this exam. So understanding the format is very, very important and key. Step number 3: use reliable study materials. Utilize reputable Nclex review books, online resources, and practice questions to help you study effectively. We have many study materials. For myself, we have a company called Nclex Review Series that offers online classes. We don't give notes to our nurses, but we emphasize the nurses to use reputable study materials. For example, Sounders textbooks. We have Kaplan. So it's not important for you to just read randomly. Even when you are to go on YouTube, go to YouTubers that you know that they have the right content. Don't go to and just take any content that you find on YouTube. It may be very hard for you to pass the Nclex, because Nclex is all about having your content. If you don't have content on your fingertips, it may be very hard. So get the right information For questionings, you can use repeatable questioning banks like Combo, Your Kaplan. There are some nurses who use NANS, simple nursing. So get question banks that people have used before and they are recommendable. For one, preparing for the Nclex exam, Nclex-Rn exam actually. Then the first step is create a study schedule. Develop a study schedule that allows you to cover all the necessary material while giving yourself a break to recharge. Don't just read, translate. You need time to relax and think of what you do tomorrow. So as you make the timetable, make sure that you don't contradict with your work schedule and the family. Make sure that you come up with a conducive duty rota. Like for myself, during my time, I used to read for about 2 to 3 hours every day, Monday through Friday, and then I could use the weekend to relax. So my strategy may not work for you. You can come up with your own strategy. But what's important is to have a schedule. Don't just read because others are reading. Don't just attend classes because it's a free class and everyone is attending. No. Make sure that you have a schedule and you stick to that. Then strategy number 5 is practice questions. Let's do as many questions as you can. Remember, practice makes perfect. So after reading a unit, go back in your question bank and do questions from the unit you just completed. I can give you an example. When personally I went through Adevia Health, they used to give us lectures every day, Monday through Friday, and I used to practice questions from Acha Combo. So after completing a topic, for example, cardiovascular, from the start of that unit to the last parts of cardiovascular, I could do questions within that particular textbook in sounders, and then after doing those questions, about 15 to 20 in a number, then I could go into the question bank and then do more questions from Acha Combo. So in that way, I could get all the necessary information, because you can read something here and you think that you've understood, but actually when you go into the questions from the same topic, you might not get 100% from what you've read. So, but it's also important to understand the rationale. So when you are reading, when you are using these question banks, don't focus on how many questions you've gotten right or wrong, but focus on the rationales. Make sure that you understand the rationale, because a long option in question 1 may be the right answer in question 2. So make sure that you exhaust everything. So do many questions as you can. Then step 6, focus on weak areas. We have many nurses who are double trained. I recently flew to Zambia and Zimbabwe, and most of the nurses I met in Harare, they were double trained. Whoever was standing to introduce herself was like, I'm a nurse midwife. So most of them are nurse midwives. That means they are higher chances that they had a lot of experience in midwifery as well. Personally, I have less experience in midwifery. So if you are a double trained nurse midwife, and you've been on the maternity unit for a quite long period of time, you are well versed with most of the midwifery terminology and conditions, then that becomes your strongest area. So when you are reading, don't focus on what you know best again. I'm not saying that don't read it, you read, but you already know. So you are just emphasizing a few things. So you focus on your weak area, which may be psychiatry, for example. So when you are reading psychiatry, put emphasis such that you are the same level with what you knew or what you know. In that way, you have a higher chances of passing this exam, because you read what you were weak at and you added what you knew best, and you get that balance. Then our 7th strategy or step is understanding the test taking strategies. You can read all the books on earth, you can do all the questions and finish all the question banks, but until the exam, if you lack the test taking strategy. So it's very important for you to know how to eliminate wrong answers and come up with the right answer. Don't just land on a question without knowing what you should do. Then, so let me give you an example. I have a question here on test taking strategy. The nurse is caring for a client who is at risk of altered fluid balance. Which signs and symptoms of dehydration would the nurse expect to find in this client? First option, A, bounding pulse. B, increased hematocrit. C, orthostatic hypotension. D, diminished bowel sounds. And E, increased urine specific gravity. What do you think is the answer? So for such questions, you should know what is obvious. First, eliminate what is obvious, because this is a select all that apply. They need the right answer. So But even if it's not a SATA, how do we come up with the right answer? So first to move what is obvious. We have bounding pulse. Is it a right answer or is it a wrong answer to this question? Do we find a bounding pulse in excessive fluid volume or in dehydration? We all know that bounding pulse is a sign of excessive fluid volume rather than dehydration. So if you have the content, you eliminate that, put that aside, and then we remain with the other options. We can think of B, we can think of C, D, or E. So having that in mind can help you to save time. Remember, we are supposed to use 2 minutes per question on average, because the exam is conducted. You are supposed to write this exam within 5 hours. That is 300 minutes. And the minimum number of questions is 85, and the maximum is 145. Just imagine you are going to do 145 questions. That means you must be strict on 2 minutes. But again, as a human being, you can't time yourself to 2 minutes. You're going to meet case study. So it's better for you to use 1 minute or less for other questions. And how do we do this? By using elimination methods. When you get to a question, analyze very fast, and then eliminate what you think is wrong, what you think is wrong, and remain with what you think is right, and also interpret on the right answers or what you think is right, such that you conclude so fast and go to the next question. Otherwise, you may end up not finishing the paper, and when you finish the paper, that is the worst. That's the worst. So it's very important to stick to 2 minutes maximum, and the only way you can do that is by knowing your strategies. The 8th step is stay calm and confident. On the day of the exam, try to stay calm and approach this question with confidence. Trust in your preparations and abilities. Don't panic. The people who start panicking, they think that maybe it's a must for them to do 85 questions. I have a colleague who collapsed in the examination room. Please don't panic. Just know that the exam is just a normal paper. And don't go with high expectations of a computer shutting at 85 questions. Know that the higher end is 145 questions. So be calm, write the exam. If the computer brings the 85th question, thank God that they continue. You don't have to panic. I've seen many nurses who have passed at 145 questions. Some have passed at 100, others 130. So just believe in yourself, take a deep breath, especially if the computer exceeds 85 questions. Take a deep breath, walk around, and come back and continue with the exam. You don't have to panic. Then the second last strategy is to have enough sleep on a day before the exam. Make sure you get enough sleep the night before the exam, so that you can be alert and focused during the test. Just imagine you were in an examination room and you are dozing. You are so exhausted. So it is important for you to believe that what you've read is enough, and you thank God that He has kept you alive, He has kept you with such strength up to that day of the exam. So have enough rest, take a light meal, take a lot of water so that you are hydrated, and be ready for the exam. Personally, I stopped reading 3 days to my exam. So, and I was very sure because I'd prepared for 6 months, and I didn't see anything to change within 72 hours. So I had to believe in myself. I traveled a week before my exam to San Antonio City. I booked my hotel, and I went through all my content in 3 days. Actually 4 days. We were doing some questions, 75 questions every day. And 3 days to my examination, I was just moving around, greeting friends, and waiting for my paper. The day came, and I passed at a 75, because for us we used to do 75 questions. They just increased recently in last year, 2023, in April, to 85 questions. For us we used to do 75 questions. Then our last strategy is staying positive. Why should you think that you failed? There are people who think that they've already failed. They believe even before writing the exam that they've not prepared enough. So it's very important for you to stay positive. Make sure you get enough. Make sure you maintain a positive attitude throughout your preparation and during the exam. Visualize yourself passing the test and becoming a licensed nurse. I went to South Africa knowing that I have the title. I'm a Nclex-Rn, and I made it. So you don't have to be negative. Trust the process. Trust what you've read. Believe in yourself. Have the confidence. And I want to assure you that you'll make it. There's nothing to worry about. This exam it's hard, but not so hard. And if you believe in yourself, you can make it. Remember that everyone who study habits and needs are different. So it's important to find what works best for you. What worked for me may not work for you, but strategies are the same. So good luck with your Nclex preparation. God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you don't miss the upcoming videos. Thank you. Bye bye.